Lionel Johnson, the mysterious Primarch of the Dark Angels, awakens from a century-long hibernation, his name spoken in quiet awe. Come with us as we reveal the background of a warrior unparalleled in cunning, a mystery bound by honor, and the carrier of a destiny that will determine the future of the Warhammer 40k universe. Hello and welcome back to the channel. Today we will be talking about Lionel Johnson, who is a Primarch from the 40k universe. You must be wondering, what is the captivating story of this Primarch of the Dark Angels? Well, stick around till the end as we answer this very question, and more as we explore his origin, his deeds during the Horus Heresy, and his enigmatic return. Without further ado, let's begin. First of all, let us talk about his creation and early life. Primarch of the Dark Angels Lionel Johnson was a marvel of genetic engineering and sculpting by the Emperor of Mankind. Gifted with superhuman skill and a mind that could outsmart anybody, he was determined to lead the fight for mankind across the galaxy, but his rise to prominence was not the typical one, and while it is true that his fate was sealed by his creation, his journey would take an unfortunate turn that would mold his personality and ultimately define the fate of the Imperium. The warp's cosmic winds swept him across the vastness of space, eventually setting him on the dangerous planet of Caliban. If you are confused, Caliban is a planet on the very fringe of the Imperium, and was a wild and dangerous frontier, where all matters of strange beasts roamed the jungles and looming mountains. In this strange land, Lionel Johnson faced unfathomable dangers and fierce predators at every step. This really played a big role in this development into a hero. Here the child Primarch was discovered by the Order, a group of noble and gallant knights sworn to protect the oppressed civilians of Caliban. They took Lionel Johnson under their wing and became his guardians and tutors, because they saw his remarkable nature and great potential in him. Through them, Lionel Johnson learned the finer points of battle. He spent countless hours honing his skills in the art of the sword, the science of the shooting, and the science of strategy. Caliban's perilous environment served as his own crucible, and through it he emerged stronger, more resilient, and more attuned to the planet's wild nature. However, Lionel Johnson's time on Caliban was not only spent training for battle. He devoted himself to learning about philosophies, literature, and traditions of Caliban's native people. The Primarch's ferocious curiosity led him to study not only the science of combat, but also the subtleties of the human psyche. So basically he was perfect in all aspects, just like a person of his caliber should be. His courage and commitment to the people of Caliban over the years made him an inspiration. He was a defensive wall against the falling knight, protecting Caliban from all kinds of dangers, creatures, and bandits. The people looked to him as their protector and champion, and the Order saw him as a model of morality. He truly was someone to look up to for the people of Caliban. Now let us talk about his pre-Imperial discovery. As I have already talked about, Lionel Johnson's life was one of vigilance and constant combat, until the magnificent tapestry of fate unfolded and the Emperor gaze turned towards Caliban. With unflinching resolve, he roamed the untamed frontier of Caliban, protecting the planet's population from the predators who threatened them. As a result, he gained the esteem and gratitude of the citizens of Caliban for his tireless effort on their behalf. He represented resilience and perseverance in the face of hardship, and thus came to symbolize hope. Stories of his bravery spread rapidly, bringing the dispersed communities closer together and motivating countless people to fight back against the growing darkness. He also discovered a lot during this journey. Through the wars he fought and conquered, Lionel Johnson learned the ins and outs of Caliban's many ecosystems. He became intimately familiar with the plant and animal life on this planet, forming a bond with its wilderness that went beyond basic needs for survival. This connection gave him incredible strength and insight, allowing him to safely traverse the perilous regions. This wildlife paid him in dividends in the long run, especially during the Great Crusade, as you will later learn in this video. Moving on, did you know that Lionel Johnson and the Emperor of Mankind had a fateful meeting that altered the path of history? Let's delve into how they initially connected. After learning of Lionel Johnson's potential and allegiance, the Emperor travelled to Caliban. The Primarch's feelings were somewhere between wonder, curiosity, and duty. The chance to lead the Dark Angels in the Great Crusade was too good to pass up, so he swore allegiance to the Emperor. That was a big moment in his rise. Basically after this he hit unprecedented heights. Now, let us talk about what happened to him through the Horus Heresy. Every Primarch, even Lionel Johnson, had their loyalty tested by the storms of treason and treachery that the galaxy-shattering Horus Heresy unleashed. Famous for his strategic ability, he guided the Imperium's army and became the Emperor's closest advisor and right-hand man. Well, initially, the other Primarchs were very wary of him, due to his mysterious demeanor and his secrecy. His mysterious demeanor and guarded characteristics kept him from his own kind. Although this was the case, he never wavered in his devotion to the Emperor and the Imperium. A true hero, I must say. Here, we shall also discuss the Dark Angels, also known as Lionel Johnson's Legion. The Dark Angels were a rock of devotion, as the galaxy was consumed by rebel fire, and brothers ripping each other apart. They fought with incredible tenacity to maintain the Imperium and restore order after taking out weapons against their dishonored comrades, because of their undying loyalty to the Emperor. Let me shed further light on these angels. Over the years, they have fought their way into legend and acquired a deadly reputation on the battlefield in the Warhammer 40k universe. Their true identity is tied closely to the mystery that surrounds Lionel Johnson. That is not all, as when they are compared to other Space Marine chapters, the Dark Angels stand out for their dogged quest for atonement and unwavering commitment to the secrets of their past. Honest yet troubled, they are weighted down by the sins of their past, and will go to any extent to make amends. So it comes as no surprise that they have a strong sense of honor and duty thanks to Lionel Johnson. His leadership engendered fanatical devotion among his troop, and they emerged as a formidable combat force. Every war the Dark Angels fought in is an opportunity to redeem themselves in the eyes of the Emperor and the Imperium. Now that you know a bit about them, let me tell you a little known fact about these Dark Angels. Did you know about the Fallen Angels? Well, the relentless pursuit of their fallen brethren, the Fallen Angels, is the center to the Dark Angels' sense of self. These renegades represent the disgrace and betrayal of the chapter, having been influenced by the forces of chaos or their own lust and confusion. A dark cloud hangs over the acts and choices of the Dark Angels, which is a never-ending search for redemption and the restoration of lost honor. It is truly a complex story. That being said, the Dark Angels' tenacity and their Primarch's technical ability can be seen as they cut swaths of destructions through their foes on the battlefield. If I have to summarize this all, these angels are not to be messed with. Honestly, these Dark Angels could do with a whole video about them. Such is the depth of their story. Now let us talk about his exile. Lionel Johnson's exile is a pivotal event in the history of the Dark Angels, and within the Warhammer 40k lore, which has just been answered with the new Book of Omens, where after the fight with Luthor, Jeff Caliban destroyed, he was taken away by the Watchers in the dark, who put him in stasis for they knew that the universe would need him one day, and that day is now. Well, after he's returned from exile, both his supporters and his detractors are mystified by the circumstances surrounding his return. The return of Lionel Johnson, who has just been dormant for ages in the Rock, the mighty mobile fortress monastery of the Dark Angels, has sparked renewed optimism among his legion's loyal followers. With renewed vigor, after the return of their Primarch, the Dark Angels stand firm, prepared to follow their mystery leader into the Eye of the Maelstrom once more. The Dark Angels and the Imperium have reached a pivotal point with the Lionel Johnson's return. That being said, now let us finally talk about what you've all been waiting for, the Great Crusade. I am sure most of you Warhammer 40k fans know what I am talking about. During the golden age of the Great Crusade, Lionel Johnson led multiple campaigns that changed humanity's fate among the stars and put him at the vanguard of the Imperium's growth. He led his legion to victory over the enemies of the Imperium, reclaiming worlds and reincorporating them into the ever-expanding Imperium with his strategic ability and unflinching dedication to the Emperor. Throughout the entirety of the Crusade, the Primarch's undying devotion to the Emperor never wavered. He was the rock upon which the Imperial principles rested, the man who would stop at nothing to ensure that humanity would always rule the stars. His unwavering determination became a focal point for innumerable loyalist forces, a beacon of hope in an otherwise hopeless galaxy. That is not all, because most prominently, his impact during his war was felt much beyond the front lines. He encouraged friendships and cooperation between people of different backgrounds. Because of his charisma and diplomatic skills, he was able to negotiate complex webs of interstellar politics and secure resources for the Imperium's causes. He truly was the perfect leader during the Great Crusade. Remembering the historic actions of Lionel Johnson during the Great Crusade brings to mind his undying loyalty to the Emperor and to the Imperium's cause. His reappearance marks the beginning of the new age for the Dark Angels, who are finally ready to do their job and solve the mystery that has dogged their legion for so long. Under the leadership of the Lion, now the possibilities are endless. In the end, I would just like to say that the story of Lionel Johnson is one that is intertwined with secrets, honor, and a relentless dedication to doing what is right. His story is one of victory, tribulation, light, and shade. From his mystery beginnings as a genetically engineered superhuman, destined to lead the forces of humanity, to his central role during the Galactic Horus Heresy. His return after a lengthy absence has given the Dark Angels renewed energy and renewed optimism for what lays ahead. Such mystery, such greatness, and such accomplishments all in one person. He will surely never be forgotten by fans around the world. Such is the level of influence of this character. We hope you'll join us on our next journey across the Warhammer 40k universe. As we wrap up this part of Lionel Johnson's saga, there are plenty of fascinating stories to tell, from the depths of the warp to the ends of the galaxy. The Lion was just the start. There is much more to talk about. Thanks for taking the time to watch our video. We hope you enjoyed as much as we enjoyed making it. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you never miss a new video from us. We'll see you in the next one. Until then, may the Emperor guide your path.